Maybe I should start off by saying that our laws here in the U.S. afford a certain protections to everyone, no matter who they are. And one of those is, is to be treated under the law, right, as a person who should have access, to an attorney, their information. Although, when I say that now, I realize that there are some cases in which a person who's undocumented here can actually be deported from the country without ever appearing before a judge or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, they don't actually have all access to those kinds to what we consider access to the judicial process, right? Things we consider more as human rights than as civil rights. We like to say that everyone should have their day in court, no matter who they are, right? If you're accused of a crime or accused of something, you should have access to some kind of hearing for your case. So, when immigrants come to this country, yes, the status that they come with affects what kind of rights, benefits, etc. they have when they're here. If you come, as I said, as an asylee or a refugee, you're given assistance, you're given help to adjust to your new home, to your new country. Sometimes members of your family are also given asylum or refugee status based on your children, your husband, etc. So, yes, it depends very much. Probably the refugee and asylee are given the most assistance. If you come here as a lawful permanent resident, or you come here to apply for lawful permanent residence, because you come through a family visa or whatever, you cannot access federal benefits like, Medicaid or Medicare or food stamps or those kinds of things during your first 5 years that you're here. You have to have a sponsor for you that basically says that they will take responsibility for you if you are unable to financially. You can't be a burden on the society. This is lawful permanent residence, because refugees and asylees are really treated a bit differently, since of course they may be coming, with the rags that they're wearing from the refugee camp, and that's it.
Right.
So lawful permanent residents have restrictions, bar on all federal benefits for the first 5 years, that kind of thing. Now, undocumented immigrants have no access to federal benefits whatsoever. The only thing that they have access to is emergency care in a hospital.
And
because
education
everyone,
for children, or no?
And education, if you're an undocumented child, you cannot be refused attendance at a public school, which was, a settled, famous lawsuit. So you have those two situations that are the ones people usually talk about, which are the great exceptions to the rule. But in terms of state-supported, federal-supported assistance, there's little to nothing that undocumented immigrants really have a right to or access to. There's a lot of misunderstandings about that. People often think that undocumented immigrants have access to everything, and that it just really isn't the case. So it differs very much depending on the status that you have.
Interesting.